God, it has been a while. So please, let me reintroduce myself. I am the Harbinger of Horror, and I have brought you a special gift today. It has been a long time in the works. So, please, without any ado, let me give you Sentenced to Eternity. From the moment I was made, I knew eternity was going to be my prison. Sentenced to a never-ending life, an eternal gift, or a curse from the darkest cracks in the universe. I have seen this dimension expand, watched as stars collapse, even observed planets being born from cosmic dust. I was here to see the start of your very own sun, and for billions of years I have watched, until one day life appeared. Single cell at first, and then becoming more complex in time. The world and its inhabitants have changed many times over. But since the first signs of conscious life, I have been walking among you and your forever changing humankind. I have been shot, stabbed, strangled, poisoned, frozen, hung, drowned, beheaded, buried alive, pulled apart, quartered, crushed, sacrificed, and someone even stole my butt cheek once. Yet, I cannot die or fade away. This power that has been forced upon me yields to nothing and no one. But to claim myself a god would only be a delusional rant from a crazy man. I can control nothing except myself, and in that, I have become perfect. Yet, a life without purpose is nothing, and the time I have spent looking for it could not be counted with the numbers you possess. The best way I can convey the reason of my being is by giving you a small glimpse into eternity. The remnants of stars fly about you as you sit in the oblivion of an endless light show. There are more now than there have ever been before, and even with the countless lights, I feel no euphoria, no comfort, and the only thing my heart knows is the void. It's always been me, only me, and for that, I have grown as cold as the space around me. There is still light in my heart, and it keeps me, so I began to observe myself, gazing inward as if it were the universe around me, endless empty space with one single light in the very middle of nothing. As I took that to be my heart, the light began to grow, not only because I was moving closer now, but as if it wanted me. Growing so large, the endless empty space that was all-encompassing began to retreat as if it was a battle between a supernova and the black hole it would soon become. Just then, I felt something. I felt warm. I felt as if the meaning of my very being was in reach. I almost had it now, the warmth growing into a heat. Still no words to bring my idea to fruition. The heat growing intense. I can't take it anymore. I open my eyes and it's nothing but white. As if my vision had escaped my very mind. I was sitting in the middle of a small star just beginning to form. On fire now, I escape into the coldness of space. Moving away from the now rapidly growing star, expanding in tenfold, I fly harder than I have in millennia. The size and gravity of this star will not stop, as if the universe's sentence was not enough, trying to take from me now the only thing I have left, myself. I am surpassing 100% of my abilities, but the more I give, the stronger it becomes, pulling me with the hands of the very universe itself. I have nothing left. I must concede to this all-powerful joke of a god, playing with my eternal sentence as if it were a mere toy. I whisper into the nothingness, "You win." I completely let go, but as soon as I do, I was free. No more space-bending gravity trying to crush not only me, but my very existence. I turn around and the star has stopped growing, as warm and bright as if it had always been there. Was I losing my mind? No, I cannot go crazy as much as I cannot die. My mind is forced into the same prison as my body. A thought grips my mind so jarring that to admit it would be to admit that since the very beginning of my existence I have learned nothing. Could I be such a joke? No, it would be impossible. I have tried and done everything in this state of being. But is that it? Is the answer really that simple? That I am more than just this physical form, my body only a mere product of the happenings in my life, but that is not truly me. It is only what I use to make things happen in this simple physical realm, and I can speak to myself in my mind, but that is not where my ideas come from. It is only where I hear them. So what is it? This thing that has no shape, no form, no words to even explain itself. Myself. If I have no words for it, how can I even begin to expand on the most simple idea? I must give it a name. I must give myself a name. If a picture is worth 1,000 words, then I cannot even measure what a name is worth, for it hides the story of a lifetime behind it. But when your life is never-ending, it's a little hard to convey through a single word that I have always been and am always to be. That's it. I am Toby. I sit back in front of this star, nay, this sun, enjoying its ever-blessing warmth, and think, out of all the things I have done, I finally have a name, but there could be more. A place to call my own, a place to rest, after endlessly floating through the void of the universe, just wandering from one time to another. But this sun, it could be the start. Before I rest, I'm going to have to put in more work than I ever have. In fact, right now I'm not even sure how it can be done. But that means nothing, when I can try forever. I fly away from the warmth of the sun, back into the void, looking for something I can take and make my own. After traveling for too long, I came upon a massive asteroid moving slowly in the direction I was coming from, and judging by its speed, there's no way it would make it back to the sun before it was out of alignment. I have one idea, and it has to work. I fly around the asteroid, hoping to find some good-sized space debris. Finally finding one the size of my chest, I fly away from the asteroid, back to where it came from. I fly as far as I can without losing sight of it. Coming to a stop, I turn around and aim for the asteroid. Holding the space rock in front of me, I start flying as fast and as hard as I can, speeding up more and more. The stars begin to blur as they pass by, so much it seemed to stretch reality. Then I release the space rock and begin to rapidly slow down, but the rock continues towards the asteroid, and if it was a star itself glowing white hot, it strikes the asteroid perfectly in the center, causing a massive ring of rocks to erupt towards me. At the same time, I can see a ripple of land rise and fall around the impact of the rock, slowly moving around the sides of the asteroid before dying away. The asteroid picking up a fair amount of speed after impact. I have to race to catch up now. Passing it by, I grab some more space debris and continue checking on to make sure nothing will disturb its path. The faster I go, gaining distance on the asteroid, and finally, the sun comes into view. I race past it a good distance and turn around again. Noticing the asteroid was on the right path as it was coming, but the sun had moved more than I thought. This was going to be a lot more difficult. I begin accelerating towards the asteroid as it comes into range, picking up speed as I had before, letting the stars melt in my vision, the rock becoming white hot. I let go. Slowing down again, I watch as the rock continues its path towards the asteroid, aim to the right to not only slow it down but angle it towards the sun. It makes impact, the asteroid erupting into a giant cloud of dust and chunks, completely disappearing for a moment. And then out of the cloud, a massive portion of the asteroid floats slowly towards the sun. I watch as it rotates and becomes trapped in the sun's sweet chains of gravity. It begins to violently float around the sun. Appearing on the other side, I can already see the change. Blue dots that weren't there before, slowly becoming larger and easier to see. Even large rocks coming out of the white stuff on the asteroid. As it makes another round, the speed picking up even more has changed. The blue dots are now massive, taking up more and more of the asteroid, and the rocks all seem to be in one place anymore. Almost no white stuff. It continues around faster and closer, the planet slowly beginning to lose all of its blue, finally becoming nothing but a massive rock in space. Starting to maintain its speed and beginning to slow down, I head down to see the asteroid up close. I land upon the rock, this husk of its former self, and begin to take in my surroundings. The ground was nothing but dust and small rocks, as hot as the sun themselves, but still welcoming to my feet. The expanse in front of me was nothing except breathtaking, never-ending dark clouds and light streaking the sky, endless flatlands until massive peaks that spewed forth black smoke and white-hot liquid. Beginning to rain down, it collected into rivers of fire, heading towards a massive pit, coalescing into a searing liquid, an ocean of white-hot plasma that never seemed to cool down. And the air was thick and pungent with the smell of dead stars, scorched rock, and the sweetest hint of sulfur. This place is a place of chaos and destruction, unbridled power, just wanting to break anything it can. I am not here to destroy. I am here to create. I cannot achieve that here. I must try again. I fly away from this rock that I had cursed into a beautiful burning eternity, and head back into the void searching. Finding an asteroid at least 5 times as large, I repeat the process. Sending it into the direction of my sun, I surpass it and begin to clear its path. Flying along, I notice other asteroids and comets getting ever so gently pulled along with the massive rock I had found. only to be let go after passing by. I fly ahead and take my place getting ready. This asteroid being larger means I have to increase my speed, so I start to accelerate and watch as the stars streak across the heavens faster and faster. Before the rock becomes white hot, I keep my hold and continue my advance, everything beginning to dim as if the lights were being turned off. The only thing left glowing now was the rock. I let go, and it immediately disappears into the asteroid, erupting into something only equal to a supernova implosion. Rock and debris race away with speed beyond their strength and begin to melt. Comets of fire claim the heavens for a moment before it begins to clear. I had split the massive asteroid in two. The pieces begin to separate, showing the true damage. Nearly 1/4 of the asteroid had broken off. It was moving away slowly, but still caught in the grasp of the sun, just as its partner. They begin to move with its gravity as if a cosmic dance had started. The only music around was the sound of my heart hoping for a place to call my own. The larger asteroid starting to change from the warm kiss of the sun, land masses beginning to reveal their face from underneath their mask of white, blue streaks beginning to form into lakes and oceans near the middle, but remaining white at the top and bottom, flying in to see exactly what became of this massive rock that I had plucked from the void. The deep scar of the impaling light I had sent into the asteroid was now filling with the almost blue, clear-like liquid. Cold, but nowhere near the suffering grasp of space. The taste was as of nothing, like thick air in my mouth. Not breathable. Flying towards the land, I see a massive cliffs high above the blue. Rocketing upwards, I can see a wide expanse of the land, nothing near the entire asteroid, but already pleasing to my idea. Giant peaks reaching the crisp white clouds against a bluish-black background, wide valleys that would swallow the ends of the sky. Looking back, and there's endless blue rolling away until it becomes one with the horizon, the sun cresting the peaks, lighting up this new world as if to show me all of its magnificence. I free fall out of the sky, letting myself pick up speed, racing towards my new home. Inches before the ground, I stop and roll over, laying myself gently on my back, and I stare into the sky. The broken quarter of the asteroid lazily floats behind the peaks as it finishes its stroll across the sky. Finally having time to rest, I fall into a deep slumber, dreaming of all the new things to come. Waking up to a broken asteroid coming across the top of the sky, I yawn and look around. There's an eerie glow coming from the asteroid as it reflects the sun's glow, but only in spirit, as it coats everything in a glowing white shade. I get up and walk over the clearish blue liquid, dipping my feet in, and the coldness washes over my toes, removing bits of dirt, and I hear a noise. I get up and begin looking around. What could possibly be here? Nothing could have survived those impacts, let alone have been alive on this rock when I found it. It's only been me and the stars. I have never seen or heard even the slightest bit of evidence of anything else. I see nothing as I scan the horizon, but the noise happens again. A little bit louder and more constant now, almost a thrumming noise. Could the broken asteroid have fallen? No, it's not possible. I watched to make sure it was steady before even coming down here. Growing even louder now, I begin frantically searching across the horizon. Suddenly, a shadow begins to arise, growing larger and larger, the broken asteroid meeting the horizon, glowing from behind this maleficent horror, making it impossible to see what it is, louder than ever before, and so large it must be 10 times as tall as me. It's gaining speed, and I can see its beady black eyes glinting in the light. I try to fly away, but it's not working. The shadow is bearing down on me. I begin running, sprinting as fast as I can, but the monster takes steps that are so large, they're almost upon me. Looking back, I trip over a rock and begin to roll end over end, landing on my back. I see the giant's face, nothing at all near what I look like, but something scaly and massive, small dark eyes filled with a haunting anger, and a mouth opening wide to show hundreds of razor-sharp teeth. I scramble backwards as the creature dives forward, mouth open, blocking out the light of the broken asteroid like it was consuming the universe. I feel hundreds of teeth bearing down on me on all sides with lightning-like speed. I wake up convulsing on the ground, covered in sweat, swearing for the cursed tricks my dreams play. I take a second to relax myself, thinking it must have been that clear liquid I drank that gave me these crazy dreams. I go over to the liquid as I had before, and I dip my feet in to wash them off. Before I do, I notice the tiniest little specks in the water, gently gliding around the area where I had drank from. Thinking it must have been some rocks or dust that was on my hand, I went ahead and dipped my feet in to wash them off. Feeling so cool and relaxing, I put my whole body into the liquid just below the surface. It was a lot more calm under the liquid, all the noises dulled out. Moving through it was only comparable to getting pulled ever so slightly by the gravity of a small star. Although the deeper I went into the liquid, the darker it became, still just as easy to move, but the gravity was growing more and more, coming from all sides, everywhere at once, bearing down on me now, as if it was multiple stars. I abandoned my descent, not finding a bottom, and began to rise back to the surface, the light coming back ever so slowly, and then all at once I finally fly out of the liquid. Rising into the sky a little, I survey the area just to ensure that dreams don't come true, and then fly back down to where I was resting before. Things had started to change already. There was a green substance growing from where I had laid. It was soft and flexible, smelling as of nothing I'd ever encountered, and the taste was even more abrasive, like sour dirt that had been warmed for too long. Remembering the specks I had seen in the liquid earlier, I rushed back over to where I washed my feet and looked down.
And boo, it's the Harbinger. But thanks a lot, Toby. Now I'm gonna have nightmares myself. But never forget, everyone, I'm always as close as the darkest shadow. And we'll see you on part 2.